Okay guys, I'm here today with Rayron Gracie, huge honor for me. Guys, for those who doesn't know him yet, he is already the Gracie with the best record from blue belt to brown belt. So he won the awards on every belt, blue belt, purple and brown belt. And he won the awards as purple in the purple belt level as the double gold, his division in the open class. And this year he just won the awards in the brown belt open class. So he's building such an amazing career. And he's also an amazing instructor. And he just got his black belt from Ricardo Gracie, and he has been training under Rayron Gracie. And if you see him competing, it really does remind Rayron a lot, because you find him on some bad spots, but nobody can do anything to him. And all of a sudden he get on top, and the person on bottom can't move anymore. So super
huge honor for me.
Huge honor for me too.
I need Bernardo as my manager to
guys, also he lived with me in New York City for almost 2 years when I was competing in our small apartment. So it's so nice to see this guy conquering the world here.
Thank you. I lived with Bernardo for 2 years. He's married to my cousin, and I'm very glad to have this first contact. I was a yellow belt and I moved to New York to see him training very hard. So for me, thank you very much. It's a very good role model for me to follow. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But guys, Rayron just shot an entire structure all about guard passing. And again, if you watch his matches, you see like what he's doing, which is very special. And I don't see many people playing the game that he is playing, which is like smashing the person on bottom. And he's learned everything from Rayron, but he's using like his own style to it. And you guys will see in this video how amazing instructor he is as well, and easy to understand why he comes from the Gracie family. So he has all the Gracie knowledge behind him. And Rayron, can you explain a little more about the system that you're building to pass everybody's guard?
Yeah, so the most type of annoying guards that we have are flexible guards, right? People who are on the bottom constantly, and they can place the lasso very far into the guard. They can invert fairly easily. So there's some type of passes that you can do, and the way I like to look at which passes you should choose is how much effort and how much room for error you have, right?
Sure.
So let's say, for example, against a flexible guy, you have a lot less room for error, right? Because you have to do everything perfectly to then land chest to chest, and the guy can recover. So for example, let's say like knee slides, right? Knee slides. If you don't do it perfectly, very close to the opponent, they can easily throw their leg over you, and use their flexibility against you. So there's a very tiny room for error here. Toward the end of the pass, the same thing, right? Unless you do it perfectly, there's a lot of space here, so they can always recover. So going to the north south, the same thing. But then I found, how can I beat my partner's flexibility fairly easily, is to keep their lower hip on the mat. Right? And the way to do that, pretty much passing someone's guard, is to go to the half guard. So most of the passes that we'll be seeing is how to go to the half guard first, and then from there pass. It's quite easy. And why is the half guard, in my opinion, the best way to pass someone's guard? First of all, is because it's much easier. You face a lot less resistance when you're getting into the half guard than going to someone's side control. Bernardo, in his case, that's the thing he wants to do the most, to go to the half guard, right? But let's say a random person, they will not worry so much about you being here. But of course, they worry a lot more if you're trying to straight go to the side control. You feel a lot more resistance. You push, you kick, it'll be very hard. But getting here is quite easy, right? And you learn a lot of details and secrets that I do in my own competition to reach onto chest to chest. So we'll be seeing from any position how to be safely leading into the half guard. Another reason that I really like to isolate one of the legs is because it funnels your opponent's option to do anything with you. So right now he cannot do an armbar, he cannot do a triangle.
So you're always isolating one of the.
Always.
That's incredible.
Always isolating one of the legs because I funnel your options, right?
Yep. So
instead of me being busy thinking about defending myself of sweeps, of submissions mainly, now I have dealt with this just by isolating this leg.
Good.
So now I can be fully focused into getting chest to chest and passing, right? Good. There's a few other exceptions which you will see in this video as well. We're in the closed guard, for example, which I'll show now, I'll demonstrate. So we're in the closed guard. When I started training Jiu-Jitsu, I was very lazy, right? I was a chubby kid. I hated to train.
That's true.
You can confirm this. And one of the things that bothered me the most was to stand up from inside the close guard, right? And of course, that's the best way to open someone's guard, I would say. Standing up is the most reliable. But I started to develop this pass, which took me many years to adjust, right? Gregor hated it, Gordo hated it. Everybody that I showed this pass, they never liked it. And they were right, because there was a lot of tiny gaps that I was leaving behind as I went along. And I was able to close those gaps, and I mean, with the help, of course, and make this pass very reliable now. So every time that I go for it, you know, I feel very safe. There's a lot less chance for submissions and resistance. So I'm in the close guard. The first thing that people like is to wrap his arm, right? I mean, this is pretty common. If they wrap his arm, sometimes they go even a step further into holding the cross collar, right? This is super common. So I will let them do that. There's no problem. My right hand will go behind my partner's neck. If you can see here, I hold my partner's collar. Now the left one would go the thumb in, just like so. Perfect. And once I have this hand, immediately I want to get my hips and knees off the mat. And I place my toes there. Now I'm placing my forehead on the same side of the underhook grip. Just like this. Now the mistake that I used to make when I was a yellow belt, and I fixed it, is that I would not open my left elbow. I would keep it closed. And the problem with this is that I'm just pulling him down. So when I open my elbow, I'm pushing him. And I get a lot stronger. I feel a lot stronger by pushing him instead of pulling. So now I push, and I'm going to walk on towards the left side. Doing almost like a checkpoint here, placing my right knee on the mat. Now, try to move me back there, Bernardo.
I have nothing to do here.
Very hard for him to move.
Yeah.
What dangers do I have here? If I lift my head too high for him to get the arm bar, exactly so. So the only thing I gotta do is to leave my head low. There's no more arm bars. If he opens his guard like he's doing so, I can easily push these down right onto
crazy.
the pass, right?
That's awesome.
Or, let's say I can't get the pass, I can easily dive into the half guard. And then we go from there. You see more instructional. Or my favorite way to pass the guard, or even submit, is after I get to the checkpoint, I will dive a little bit lower. I'll hold on to my own collar, and I'll get this grip as tight as I can, and I hold on to this. Immediately after I do this, my left hand will let go of my partner's collar, and I place it in front of his face, right there on the ear. Now, I will leave the checkpoint, which we just got, and I'll keep walking. It's very important that you maintain your hips high up, so your partner has space to move their leg, as you see, from this side to across his face. So I place my head on the mat, and now I keep moving. As soon as my knee passes my partner's head, I'm going to hip switch and sit on my right leg. Bring my head up.
Man, that's crazy.
From here, I have the arm bar. One.
Yeah.
Right there. If he skips the arm bar by extending his body, I transition my left hand to his ankle, and I start opening this arm up, just like this. If he hugs me my chest with the top arm, and he tries to come up towards me, easily, just throw the top leg
You're in your
over.
mouth. Man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
It's my favorite move.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like, never saw anybody doing that. You told me that Roger does it as well.
Roger likes to do it, yeah. But I mean, there's a few guys that do it. Gordo helped me to really fix it.
Got it.
Right, so I got the best out of everyone, and I started to make it very reliable.
Got it.
It's a very, very good pass.
Oh, Heidi, and every time I watch you competing, the two things that calls my attention the most is that many times you start losing, but they cannot do much on you.
Yeah.
And then sooner or later, you get on top, and then once you get on top, the match is done. Like, so this is...
Yeah, I mean, I always train like this, right? Because when you're born into my family, you know that you're going to be training jiu-jitsu your whole life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, you're going to be trained as a kid, and you're going to die training jiu-jitsu until you're 80, right? More than that. So I couldn't learn jiu-jitsu twice, and that's something that I also talk about, is that what is learning jiu-jitsu twice? People learn jiu-jitsu when they're young, and they do moves that rely on their physical attributes as agility, mobility, flexibility, right? Their you know, the power, the strength. And then as they start to age and lose that, which is normal, they have to adapt so much that they're almost, learning jiu-jitsu again.
I agree.
Right? So instead of doing this, since I already know they'll be training jiu-jitsu the whole life, jiu-jitsu is awesome, I don't want to miss a day, I skipped the first part of doing the agility things, right? So I straight go into, this is how I will train after I'm 60, right?
Okay.
So that's why, when I go into a fight, if there's so much intensity, I'll just let the things go on, the moves happen, and then I know that because of the technique, there will be a time where if I can defend myself and not tap, my chance will come to end up in a good position.
Yeah, no, and that's incredible everything you said, because most of the customers at BJJ Fanatics, they are older people.
Yeah.
And many times when we film with people who only rely on physical attributes, it doesn't sell well just because that people over there cannot relate.
Yeah.
So it's amazing the fact that you are young, you are like 21, 22 years old, but everybody can relate to you.
Yeah.
Even though you were that young, because you were playing their game pretty much.
For sure. And that's, the goal with the jiu-jitsu is pretty much it, right? A lot of people think, your main goal is to submit people and do these flashy moves. But as you grow older, the submission focus can go into not tapping, right? I can have a lot of fun myself, getting into someone's side control on the bottom, and being very excited and happy of a training that they could not mount me. And you start to shift your perspective and focus in more simple things. When you look at these guys who do flashy moves, which is nice, right? And they want to submit all the time. You're just focusing something that's out of our limits, right? Sometimes.
I agree. No, man, this is an incredible mindset lesson here that I'm taking.
Thank you.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, Rayron just shot an entire instructional all about guard passing, 7 hours of content. He almost broke the records here of the longest videos. And so as you can see, even though he's still young, he has so much knowledge. I think it all comes from his family and also from the way that he thinks. And it's an amazing instructor, and he has this type of jiu-jitsu that everybody can play, which is very simple but very precise. So make sure to check that out. It's going to be at bjjfanatics.com. Maybe by the time you're watching, it's already there. And don't miss the chance to learn from him. And I think in the next years, that's the guy you're going to hear more and more and more, because it's just amazing what he is building. So thank you
very much. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy.
Awesome. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.